It's a nice night out here, huh, Winters?
Yeah, it is, Anderson.
Hey, look at this. The United States of America is entering a war with Vietnam to prevent the spread of communism.
I think it's important to stop the spread of communism and stop the power of the Red Army, Anderson.
We've got a lot of problems coming in the States, and they want to send us to a war.
Well, Anderson, do you know what the domino theory and the Truman Doctrine is?
No, what is it?
Well, the domino theory, Anderson, is a theory where communism and countries are like dominoes. If one country falls to communism, all countries are going to fall to communism. And the Truman Doctrine is where the United States helps democratic countries to prevent them from becoming communist. And it helps with military, political, and economic support.
No, I understand that, Winters, but it's just killing another man is wrong.
Well, you got to think about it, Anderson. It's for the world. It's for our country.
I guess we do got to prevent communism.
You're right.
March 8, 1965, under the direct order of President Johnson, some 3,500 Marines of the 9th Marine Expeditionary Brigade came ashore on the beach at Da Nang. These Marines were the first U.S. combat troops to enter the war. Their job was to secure Da Nang Air Base, from which many of the bombing raids on the north were launched. That same month, further south and west, the 325th Division of the North Vietnamese Army, the NVA, 3 regiments totaling about 5,000 men, infiltrated from Laos into South Vietnam. Throughout the war, Hanoi steadfastly denied that it had any combat troops in the South.
But 10 years after the war, Morley Safer interviewed some veteran tunnel rats.
It was you versus the enemy.
And you had to go in head first, correct?
Right.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Never feet first anywhere.
Risky business, Marlon.
So you had to have somebody on your feet when you went through.
Always went in with your hands out in front of you, too, because if you got your arms trapped to your side, you were stuck there. You were just there, period. If you didn't get your arms through first, you couldn't get out.
What did you find, apart from Viet Cong, what did you find down there?
I came across one time a tripwire that was located in the tunnel, and it led to a box that was at the side of the tunnel that had been carved out, and in that box was about 10 or 15 very angry scorpion spiders. There was a bamboo snake. We found this a couple of times where they actually had the snake tied to a piece of bamboo that was stuck into the top of a tunnel. It's probably been tied up there for 3 or 4 days, and that viper will strike at whatever comes through.
You used to go down there alone.
Right, sir. I used to go there alone.
Why?
I was trying to show them in a way that by me being alone, that I wasn't afraid of them. I wasn't afraid at all. They didn't scare me one bit.
You would be amazed at just how sharp your senses become.
But there was barely room for your shoulders. You couldn't get, there was no room to maneuver.
That's right.
Absolutely not.
That's right.
No room to maneuver. If you came under fire, it's like you're in a shooting gallery. There's no place for you to go.
Tell me, when you flushed out a tunnel, took prisoners, killed some people, was that the end of the active life of that tunnel?
You only owned that piece of ground while you stood on it. As soon as you moved out of the area, Charlie moved right back into it. That was this type of war.
This film documents the Vietnam War in the words of Americans who served there. It features home movies and rare archival footage collected during a worldwide search. Many scenes are graphic in nature, and viewer discretion is advised.
Anderson.
I just gotta say, I'm getting really tired of this.
Me too. I honestly just want to go home.
See your wife?
Yeah, and my daughter. You know, she just turned 2 years old.
2 years old?
Yeah. It's been more than a year since I've been gone.
Then we're gonna go home, brother.
Hopefully soon. Like Christmas. The amount of women, children, men I've seen slaughtered in villages. Why should a man be put through this?
Our brother just died from the Vietnamese.
Yeah. You gotta end them all.
I don't just want to end them, brother.
Want to eradicate them from this entire existence?
Send them to their maker.
Okay. Wonderful. Want to take a break? Yeah. Here it does get tiring, huh?
Mm-hmm. We gotta get back to base.
There we go. We'll have to patrol a little bit more and then we can go back.
For real, when do you think we're gonna go back home?
Can't tell. Maybe a couple more months. Maybe hopefully by Christmas.
Can't take this anymore,
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Returning fire. You got it? Cover it. Winters! Come on, man. Kill my wife, I love you. I will, brother. Don't worry. Winters! You dare come in!
Fred Bogenschutz.
And what would you get out as?
We're talking about military then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in the U.S. Army, and I got out in February of 1970, 69, 70. I was in the Army, came out as a sergeant, and I was in the Vietnam War in 68 and 69. I was drafted, or at 18 you had to register.
My first question is, how would you describe your experience in Vietnam?
Well, it's an experience that it's hard to explain. It was more of a kind of like a survival thing there. It was jungle warfare, and it was probably an experience that I would never give up that experience, but never want to do it again.
Do you regret serving in Vietnam?
No. I think it just was quite an experience in life, you know, and what we had to do, and I just thank God for bringing me home safe.
When you came back to the States, how was your journey back home?
Well, it wasn't friendly, you know. We didn't have a Johnny Come Marching Home party. You know, we were called names, baby killers, and so us Vietnam vets didn't have a welcome home. So it was a little difficult, you know. That's why we find a lot of the vets still angry about the war and being accepted as, you know, soldiers.
And then one last question is, what's one story that kind of sticks with you, or one battle that sticks with you?
Well, I guess it would be my testimony, which my squad and I we were pinned down. There was enemy all around us. There was only 6 of us, and I'm praying. I was raised a Catholic, and I had my rosary, and I'm praying the rosary to God to take me quick. I didn't want to suffer. Didn't ask, and all this came back to me after my life changed 25 years later. And God revealed this to me. He showed me. He was with me. And that experience of a visitation, where I had a vision of Jesus, or an angel touching me and told me everything was going to be okay. So later on, through that experience, you know, 25 years later, when I turned my life around, I had that same visitation. So that visitation has always been with me, and that's something that will never go away.
How often do you think about Vietnam, or what you did in Vietnam?
Well, there was a period where we could, back in the days they called it combat fatigue, you know, where you just think about the war, what happened, but now it's called PTSD. And it had to do with dreams, situations that you experience, which, I mean, it all happened in society today. You know, a tragic thing that happened, and you'll always, you know, it'll shock you. So, but I did do some rehabilitation, through some classes.
And then the media always covered as you guys as baby killers. Do you think that was true?
Yeah, the media was definitely a big part of it, as it is today. You know, the media would always, you know, on television. Of course, I wasn't here to watch TV, but we experienced it after I came home, and because we'd go through villages, okay, and you didn't know who the enemy was.
During the Vietnamese War, the United States lost 58,220 American personnel, while the Vietnamese side lost 250,000 Viet Cong soldiers and civilians. The total of deaths came up to 1,353,000 from all sides of the war combined.
Julie! Die in hell, dirty calm.